All right, I moved it. So let me go to this one slide. You say I'm okay. It. I don't know why this little thing keeps popping around, but I need to move it. But I'll move it later. I've created an American lineal descendant of slavery organ alternative foundation gift for Khadijah. That would be the movement that I created for my baby. So this is how it goes. It starts out with Khadijah's agenda. And because I cannot move that little thing at the bottom where I'm at, I can tell you what it says behind it. So first we have our introduction, primary goals, and descendant body value. And this all stems around what happened to her between the time she was harmed and the time I got back home. So behind my photo there, it says 3 to 5 year goal. I think it says something like that. And then the bottom one says, how do we get there? So I've created this gift as a goal, I guess. And it goes around all the things that happened to Khadijah and how we can do better. So it's a plan as to what we can do to make things better in honor of Khadijah. So in the introduction, it says, the Organ Alternative Foundation realizes that respect and a good life is destined for every American lineage descendant of slavery. Now remember, this was a class presentation, so there may be some bloopers in there that need to be fixed. So don't focus on that. Please, I'd appreciate it if you focus on the gift. We offer an alternative opportunity to honor the generosity of organ and tissue from descendants, donors, and their American lineage slave descendant families during and after the time of donation. The Organ Alternative Foundation will, because this does not exist, provide lineage, slave descendants, donors, and non-donors. Okay, so this is what the Organ Foundation will be able to do for people that donate, for slave descendants that donate their organs, and slave descendants that are just slave descendants that don't donate their organs, but they're just slave descendants. So it would start out with anyone that is in need of an organ that is a slave descendant will receive immediate access to organ transplants. So any donors that any slave descendant donors will make sure that a slave descendant gets an immediate organ donation immediately, an immediate transplant, like tomorrow, like today, immediately. Okay? Psychological damage counseling for families and individuals. So any slave descendants that have mental issues, psychological issues, like myself, probably from my daughter being killed, and I'm just horrified. And as you see, I don't let it go, and I'm on this channel all the time talking about her. So anyway, counseling for families. And of course, that will not be a price for the person that's suffering from any type of psychological, let me say that right. That will not be any type of fees or charges for the slave descendant that has psychological issues. So the counseling will not be any charge for families and individuals. Wellness insurance. And wellness insurance pretty much means, um, a yearly check. Once a year, go get yourself checked once a year. You know what a wellness check is. Twice a year. Okay, community grocery stores. This organ foundation, the grants from the organ foundation will be able to be able to allow grocery stores to be put into slave descendants rural areas, into their neighborhoods, into places to replace liquor stores and to replace where there's no food deserts. Okay, total expenses paid for legacy slave descendants ages 70 and above. So any slave descendants that are ages 70 and over, it pretty much explains itself. They should not be paying any bills. They can use their money for groceries and for personal use, but they should not be paying any taxes and rent. They shouldn't be paying for anything. The seniors, and I don't even want to call them seniors. I just want to keep calling them slave descendants. Okay. Total care for veterans. If you are a slave descendant and you served for this country, you fought for this country, you risked your life for this country, you should have total care through the Slave Descendants Organ Foundation, through the grants that come from the slave descendants that donate their organs. Turn this heater off. All right. And I know I'm supposed to be doing this perfect thing, but I'm just being myself because this is my baby's gift and I'm really sad. All right, let's move on. Community tutors, study hall locations with instructors. So kids need tutoring. Slave descendant children need tutoring. It's accessible. It's right there. You don't have to travel far to get it. You can walk from your house to wherever the center is. It'd be like a 7-Eleven on every corner. Study hall locations, I said that already. Youth summer programs, activities and meals. If there's summer programs, if there's activities, there's meals. Kids get out of school. The slave descendant kids get out of school. They don't have to go, if they know they don't have to go straight home, they can go to a tutor. If their mom's not home or their parents are not home because their parents are at work, they can go to a tutoring center and they can have dinner, whole meals, not no snack. They can have dinner and get their homework done. They can have tutors there, people to tend to them and to counsel them and make sure that they are, being able to, and they have transportation to wherever they go and whatever they need. So, and that's for a and then youth career training. They let the kids start at like 16 or 15 if they want to start in a career. Like Khadijah's brother did, he started training with the fire department at 15. He might have been at 16 years old, and he stayed with the fire department until he went into the Marine Corps. So any type of career training for the youth, they could go with any type of recruiting training for young people. So if they want to get into computers or if they want to get into being a firefighter or whatever they want to do. All right, that will be available for young people to go be like OJT, like actual training into whatever career. If they want to work at a hospital, they can go work as a candy striper, or they can just start training whatever it is their heart desires. If they want to work at the courthouse, they can go start volunteering at the courthouse and being runners and passing out, delivering stuff for the people that work there in the courthouse, for the judge, just anything. So we start the kids out early. I want to say 15 because that's when they can get a work permit probably and start training on whatever career they think they like. And if they get into one and they say, "No, I don't like that," they can go train and try to do something else for 6 weeks or whatever the time is. Individual college funding. I don't know what that is. Federal grants. Okay, so doctors. So people that want to be in descendants that want to train and want to be doctors, want to go to school for nursing and doctoring, and because we're going to always need some descendants to keep us healthy. All right, because we got this wellness insurance that's going to make sure we go get ourselves checked. So we're going to need doctors, a lot of descendants to be trained as a doctor. um, Federal funding, federal grants for land and home. I guess I should put my glasses on because I'm skipping all kinds of stuff. You guys see where I'm at? We said the doctors, and then legal studies, funding for if you want to go and be an attorney, if you want to be a judge. I don't even want to say attorney, but if you want to be a judge, if you want to be a whatever you want to be. Funding, federal grants, home and landowner protection. So the grants from our organs will be able to help us get homes and protection for our land. So nobody can take our property anymore. As a slave descendant, there will be no, you will not be able to take the property from a slave descendant. No one. My nose running. Anyway, moving on. Homeland, business owner financing and training. So if you own a business, you can get financing for your business. You can get employees for your business. You can get training to help you. You will get help with your taxes. You will get help with anything you need to get you going for your business as a slave descendant. Insurance policy cap. There will be a cap on insurance where people can where companies cannot charge you more than a certain amount as a slave descendant. What else to see? Now I'm sure there's a lot more things that can go here, but these are just the things I thought of in order for me to turn my paper in. And I think I did edit this a lot since I turned it in. I turned this in back in April, but college debt forgiveness. If you're a slave descendant, your college debt is wiped slate free away. No slave descendant will have any college debt. Community gardens. We will put gardens in every community. Every community where there is a slave descendant will be a garden with pear trees, because I love pears. And Khadijah did too. Funding, federal funding for free child care until they begin school. Is no more saying, "Oh, the mama's trifling, the mama's lazy, she won't get up and go to work because the kids go to the daycare." Nope. The kids get to go to the daycare because they need to be in the environment of other children. They need to be getting education at a young age. Actually, they should be going to daycare starting at like 2 or 3, so they can start learning to speak and communicate. So, free childcare for every slave descendant child until they begin school. Free walk-in health centers and wellness yearly check. I think I got that on there twice. And the choice of a holistic facilities. So you can pick holistic doctor, or you can just go to one of regular doctor. Property tax waivers. Depending on what's going on, if you've had your land, I'm just making this up right now, but I think if you've had your land for more than a certain amount of time, you shouldn't have to pay any taxes on it as a slave descendant. Workout facilities, community workout facilities. So, okay, of course, that would probably be put into the wellness centers. You can go in there probably, all that will probably be put into one. If you guys think I'm going to do this by myself, I'm not. I'm talking to you slave descendants. We got work to do. Community parks. There will be parks. People like dogs. People like cats. Slave descendants like dogs and like cats. So there will be community parks, places to take their children, and places for the children to be. Kids like to play outside. Playgrounds, swimming pools, family counseling. And that's important. Keep our families together. Supplemental money siphon. Now this one right here is a little, I don't know, but I think it's good. Supplemental money siphon. And I would say maybe like $1,000 a month, or $500 every 2 weeks or something, for adults 55 years of age until their Social Security benefits began to kick in. Now, if you're somebody that won't ever get Social Security benefits and you are a slave descendant, then you'll just get that supplemental siphon. So you will be able to eat for the month. And so you will be able to find a room for the month, somewhere to stay. Age is 55. I think that's good. Might push it back to 50 because there's a lot of people out here suffering right now that are slave descendants. All right, my next page. So that's my introduction. I think it's been there long enough for you guys to be able to see, and a lot more. And this is not written in stone. It can be reorganized. I'm trying not to be a crybaby today, but I miss my child. I really miss my child. This was the day I received a phone call, 2017. I had just got back from taking Julian, picking him up from, he was in Missouri. He just went into the Marine Corps. And I just got back. And this doctor called me. I won't say his name, but I know his name. He called me and he told me that Khadijah was in a car accident. And I knew that wasn't true because Khadijah didn't have a car. And it just went downhill from there. Anyway, but it's going up. It's better. It's getting better. You guys, I hope you guys really enjoy this gift. Enjoy this gift. All right. So another part of the introduction, because all of it would not fit on that other page. hospital emergency room, slave descendant bodies, fair admittance, and treatment transparency, doctrine, and law. So we will come up with a law and a doctrine to make sure that slave descendants are treated really good, are treated with like just really good. We will see to that. There will be no more free fall with our bodies and with us as slave descendants. No more. We will be off limits. You cannot do with us what you want to do anymore. We will be off limits. Don't touch. An opportunity if you choose to document your family members' donated organ procedures. So if you decided to donate your family's organs to another slave descendant, then you can document it. We're going to have an archive book that you can document what happened to your family member and how it was that you came to decide to donate their organs, who the person was that you decided you were going to give your family members organs to, and how things went. And you can document it. And so that way, the next generation of your family, when they look back and say, hey, Uncle such and such died of this, and then his organs were donated to this guy, to this person, slave descendant, and that person lives in 2 hours away, and he has our uncle such and such's heart, or he has our uncle such and such's pancreas or kidneys, and he's doing fine. You know, we see him all the time, or we get together and have family reunions together. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep our family history and what happens to our family's bodies sacred. Sacred. Because we've been through so much. Our families have been harmed so much. Now we need to make slave descendants need to make our lives sacred and quality and very and special. We need to be very. We need to value our bodies and ourselves and who we are as a group of people. And from now on, I mean, as for Khadijah's gift, our bodies should not be handled anymore by people that have no business touching us. We are like queens and kings. We should not be touched. By no means, we should not be touched. Our children should not be handled unless a group of slave descendants are there to make sure everything goes the way we say. All right, this is a big one right here. Primary goals. Remember, it was a class project. I had to turn this in. She said, if you were to create a movement, what would it be? And this is all a part of the presentation. So let me find my glasses, which is up here on my head, because I can't see much without them. Put them on. Y'all can start reading it, though. My goals. So my goals, okay, first of all, primary goals. Offer an alternative descendant of slaves. Offer an alternative for descendants of enslaved Africans. That's what our families were. They were enslaved. So we're the descendants of the enslaved Africans that were brought here against their will. So this is my goal as Khadijah's mom, as for the gift to her. All right, let me see. I'm not reading all this stuff. But anyway, so, and then it's probably not written right, but it's okay. American lineage slave descendants will set boundaries for others to respect. Now, let me say that with my glasses off. Slave descendants will set boundaries for others to respect. You got that? Slave descendants will set boundaries. They can't cross the line like they did right here with Khadijah. They crossed the line. Oh, okay, they crossed the line. That's why I'm here. I wouldn't be here if they wouldn't have crossed the line. They crossed the line. They've crossed the line with a lot of us. A lot of us. They've probably crossed the line with probably 90% of us. Slave descendants. Not black people and not African Americans. Slave descendants. All right, Khadijah's mom, which is me, will see to it that we will begin getting the same federal grants that other cultural independent organ foundations are receiving for their community. So what I researched and found that there are other groups of cultures that do their own that have their own organ foundations, such as i.e. Hawaiians, Asians, the tribes, Indian tribes, and also the Muslims, the Arabs or Pakistanians. They have their rules and they have their organ foundations. Okay. Khadijah's mom will take a class. I don't know what I was doing when I wrote this. Khadijah's mom will take a class to learn how to communicate with others dealing with multiple circumstances. Now, I probably did, because my kids say, Mom, cut it out. Oh, it's already 28 minutes. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Khadijah's mom will learn the statutes of laws already written and codified for operating the functioning organ alternative foundation. So I'm going to learn the laws and stuff. But you know, Biden just put out a new organ rules for all the organ foundations, to all new rules to follow. And I know one of them was they said the consent was not going to be necessary anymore for them to take your organs. That was one of Biden's rules he put in there. As slave descendants, I don't know, we have to, we just gonna have to really appreciate ourselves and really start loving ourselves and really start just valuing ourselves. Not to say you don't, because look at me, here I am. Okay, and real quick, Khadijah's mom will assemble team liaisons in every major United States. The team and descendants will join twice a year in Khadijah's home state, Virginia. So we'll get together twice a year and have a convention to try to, my hand's hurting me again, just to come together. Okay? Okay, alternative foundation goals. Create a 24-hour emergency service team in every state to accept donor calls. So when there's someone that can donate their family members' organs, we will have a 24-hour service available. And if there is someone that needs an organ, they should already be letting their doctor know that they should be getting a call at any time. If they are a slave descendant, their doctor should know that they should be getting they might get a call at any time from another slave descendant. Okay. Create a 24-hour emergency service team to accept calls and grievance and guidance, and assign a support person to descendants in need of organ transplantation. So in other words, like if there's a family that is grieving, then will be a team of slave descendants that will go by their side. If there's a family that has a family member in the hospital from a serious accident or anything, then a team of slave descendants will go get up in the middle of the night and go be with those people. Go be with them. Go be by their side. Create thousands of call service team. I don't know what that says because my head is in the way. Help the descendants understand how to use the certificates. Oh, so there's going to be like an insurance policy thing where my head is in the way. I can't read it, but there's an insurance policy for slave descendants that will be a swap, share, forfeited, use it or lose it, right? So what you do is you're going to call in, or if you already got an insurance, you're going to already have the insurance. But whenever you need to go to the doctors or something, you call into the service team and you make an appointment. And if you don't call in to confirm that you're going to your appointment or whatever, then you can swap. If you need to go another time, you can swap it, or you can share it. I don't know how the share is going to go, or you forfeit it because you don't show up, or you use it, or you lose it. If you lose it, then you lose it. Somebody else get it. You understand? So it's going to be an insurance company kind of like that. So you really won't have a main insurance policy, but I don't know how it's going to work. But I think that's a good idea, where if you need something, if you need to go to the dentist or whatever you need to do, then you can call in and get a certificate to be able to go to the doctor. And it's 24 hours to be able to go to the doctor and it be paid for. Put thousands of Americans, lineal descendants of slavery, into a promising career of their choice. So this foundation organization will help put all the slave descendants that want to be into a promising career of their choice. I think I'm getting to my ends. Okay. And this is a little shocking. So anyway, you guys know that Khadijah donated organs. I want to say I was harassed. There will be no more harassing. No one will harass the slave descendants for their organs anymore, ever again. There will be no more nobody harassing us for our organs. Okay? So I kind of went through because I was asking, did they just get the organs that they said they were going to get? And nobody wanted to answer me. So anyway, I wanted to, part of my assignment, I wanted to see what the organs, how things go with organ transplantations. And I see that when they do a heart transplant, the insurance pays, I guess, or somebody pays, that heart cost $1,644,000. Now, in my work citation, the price has gone up. I think now the price for a heart is $1,664,000 or something like that. It's gone up 20%. So just for the heart alone is $1,644,000. Okay. for no, for kidneys, $262,900 for kidneys. Lungs, this Khadijah, all this is Khadijah. She gave all these organs, okay? This is the value of all these organs. I mean, this is what these organs cost to be able to get to the next person. Or this is just, I mean, I was like, just, anyway. So I got these numbers from off of a website that's connected to HHS. Anyway, I put it in my citation where I got these numbers from, these costs that the insurance companies pay for organ transplants. So for the lungs, it's $561,000. $561,000, and that is for two, for two lungs. $289,000, $89,400 for Khadijah's pancreas. Okay, $289,000 for Khadijah's pancreas. Khadijah's liver, $577,000. $570,000. I don't know why that's like that. I don't know what that say. $1,100. Maybe it's 577. Let me fix that. I can't fix it. No, I can't fix it. But anyway, $77,000, $77,100 for her liver. And her digestive tract, $1,206,000. And that's for one black body. And I'm sorry to call my daughter a black body, but that's for one black body, close to $5 million. We're going to have a moment of silence on that. If you notice over here, I said community funding on the heart, on her heart. Well, that goes for all of her organs. And I know you guys can't believe I'm talking about my daughter like this, but I'm trying to separate the two. That goes for all of her organs. I'm trying to think about others other than myself, other than me. The money or the grants that would come from this amount of money that's left over from an insurance company, from a surgery, because I'm sure they're not buying all new equipment, could go into the slave descendants community. Could pay for all of, I can't go back, that's weird. Could pay for everything on the introduction page that I showed you. The grants from the $1 million from her pancreas could pay for kids to be able to go to school until they start elementary school, for seniors, for slave descendants 70 years old and older not to have to pay any taxes or mortgages or any bills, to just spend their money only on their food and personal expenses. The $289,000 could go towards homes and housing for slave descendants. It could go towards protection so people do not steal the slave descendants' land and homes anymore. The 1 million from Khadijah's heart, from her heart, could go towards the community. So people don't have, so slave descendants don't have to pay for college. So they don't have to be in debt with college debt in order for them to be able to take care of their families. There was a lady that was in Chicago. Those people were interviewing, and they said that there were 15 kids in a weekend that was killed. Can you imagine when they're taking these organs from these kids, where all of that money is going and where all that money could be used for the slave descendants? Someone has Khadijah's heart, and that's a good thing. But this money could go towards the slave descendants. This money belongs in the slave descendants community, and that's what it should be used for. Anyway, so on this page, I just said no respect for descendants, and that means no respect for any of us. These organs were removed from Khadijah Hamidullah against the United States organ procurement model of express consent. And if you look at them, they're cited. You can barely see where it's cited, the pictures, who they belong to. So it's not just pictures that I found and I'm using somebody else's stuff. These pictures came off of PowerPoint pictures that on the internet that's allowed to be used. So Khadijah's tissue from her body was stolen, and her tissue, according to the United States Department of Health and Human Services, they say it's distributed amongst 25 people. Now, I don't know what they do with it, but I think you should ask before you go taking stuff. Don't belong to you. Her eyes, okay? You guys can read that. And then over here, my unborn grandchild. Khadijah's baby was taken from her. And I put here that I assumed that they aborted her child. Okay. But she was pregnant. And I guess I'm assuming that it was donated for stem cell transplantations. And those stem cell transplantations are transplants are they run between $15,000 and $75,000. So if unless my grandbaby was put in the garbage, then otherwise, then I want to say that they used my grandbaby for the stem cell stuff. So anyway, that money could be used in the slave descendants community to help people hold on to their land. We shouldn't be fighting for our land anymore. We never should have been fighting for our land. But I think hopefully the grants from our organs will be able to help us now. All right, real quick, because I think I'm running into an hour again. The main areas of focus for the first 3 to 5 years, and once again, I'm not doing this by myself. You guys are going to get helping me. Get this going. So anyway, this is an insurance thing that I came up with. It's not written in stone, but prioritize transplants for Black. I got to take that word out. Lineal descendants of slavery. Okay, so it goes like this. Donor or non-donor lineal descendant may receive organs. So if you're a slave descendant, you get an organ immediately, no questions about it. I don't care if you're 1,000 years old. If you need an organ, you get an organ from another slave descendant right away. Donor or non-donor lineal descendant, no insurance is needed. You don't need no insurance. Close to $5 million of a body per Black body, you don't need no insurance. Donor and non-donor, non-lineage parent may be a dependent of a lineal descendant child or lineal descendant husband or wife. So I say that to say, if you have a wife or a stepchild or something that is not a slave descendant, then they can be a dependent of a slave descendant. But the slave descendant has to be living. So the wife or the husband, if they're white or Spanish or whatever religion, whatever culture they are, African, whatever they are, they can be a dependent of the slave descendant. If the husband or the wife, slave descendant, is deceased, then there's children, then the person that is a non-slave descendant can be a dependent of the children, if that makes sense. But once, like, the slave descendants are deceased, then that family member is disconnected from, they can no longer be a part of, as a slave descendant, because they don't have anybody to be a dependent of. All right, lineal descendants insurance share, swap, forfeit, use or lose it program. The insurance, okay, so that one up top was for getting an organ, being able to get an organ if you're like if you're a slave descendant or if you're a non-slave descendant, to be able to get an organ from another slave descendant, you have to be a dependent. Okay. Lineal descendant insurance share, swap, forfeit, use it or lose it program. Okay, so this is pretty much just, in a nutshell, it's an insurance plan that is a share, you swap, use it, lose it, forfeit it, that kind of thing. And it just says the same thing as it does up top for the organs. The only difference here is you get 6 free doctor requests a year, visits, but you can, if you don't get it, then you don't, if you don't get it, you don't use it, you don't use it. If you use it, you lose it. You don't get it, you get it. If you do, you do. Okay, you call in and you request it, and you can get 6 doctor visits free for the year as a slave descendant. 2 free dentist request, and it says the word request, a year. 1 free wellness request. 24 free psychological, if you, and visits and overnight stays. So if you have mental, or if you're not stable, if you are a veteran, if you're sleeping on the street or whatever it is, you'll be able to use this to go stay inside. No insurance is needed. No insurance is needed. And then the same thing, it says on the bottom that if you're a white person, Spanish, African, or of other descent, you can be a dependent of a slave descendant if you're in the family or whatever. We ain't gonna just go through a whole bunch just to try to figure that out. Okay, how we get there. For housing and groceries, while the grants that we've requested are being processed, we join in and assist as volunteers to get this up and running. To create and organize the insurance program plan. I shouldn't be going through all this. I'm telling you, I really should not be going through all this. We shouldn't go through this just because our children, we lose a child or we lose a family member. Why are we being put through? We get put through all of this unnecessary stuff. Just because we want justice. We pay our taxes just like everybody else does. While the grants that we requested are being processed, expect to help the foundation for average pay. Expect to help the foundation for average pay scale for the first year or 3 years. So while the grants are being processed, while we're putting together the foundation, expect to be paid very little for helping. But this is all about being successful, and everybody having a successful career where they can afford to take care of themselves and pay their own way. Everybody, every slave descendant, whether they're just living off of their land and they don't pay anything, they're just being successful. Whether they don't work anywhere and they're living off their land, they can do that. So while we're waiting on our grants to be processed, we will be working for very little, if nothing. While the grants that we requested are being processed to help assist the lineal businesses. So that means while the grants are being processed, that anybody that has a business that needs help, there should be slave descendants that are willing to help business owners and help others get their business started and up and running. So everybody got to help everybody. Businesses need begin to create and organize a lineal descendant business plan. So whatever, create a business plan, help create a business plan, help the small business owners or the business owners or the big business owners or the insurance companies or whoever they are. Help them, the trucking companies, the little lawn care companies, the food pantry companies, whoever they are. The slave descendants need to pitch in and help, and for sure make sure that we are taking care of anyone that is in need of an organ, because they probably need assistance at home. Request the local community and to help people fill out applications. Anybody that needs help, the slave descendants need to put together a team and make sure they have a team for everything. A team to help somebody fill out a job application. A team to help somebody, and not on no internet. A team that somebody sit next to someone and help them. Help them get their Social Security benefits or help them get their taxes done. Request the local community to donate space for study halls, reading and writing lessons, as well as for tutoring and meetings. Recruit speakers and writers to communicate with the American lineal, with the lineal descendants of slaves. I left that off, sorry. Business, medical, business, education, finance, safety, lineal descendants of every characteristics may begin sharing, i.e. information, knowledge, skills, facts, data, timelines, goals, and new ways to accelerate ahead. That means start sharing everything you know. Like I'm doing. I'm sharing everything I know. While the grants are being processed, counselors, professionals, educators, daycare providers, create something. I can't see it because my face is in the way. Can't move it. All right. Our future to descendants excellence. Our future to descendants, left off the S, I'll put it there, but I don't think y'all need to be paying attention to my errors. So, as descendants, being able to organize and use the grants from our organs that are donated, we should be able to get homes, private homes built for ourselves, for those that need a home, slave descendants. We should be able to have grocery stores, accessible food with the grants from our organs, close to $5 million a body. Where's all the extra money going? Who's the beneficiary of the extra money after the surgery is done? Doesn't matter who the beneficiary is. We need to get those grants because we need them for our community. Accessible medical, more doctors, more caring, more healthy food, more better medical plans, better health, all the way around. Training, education. Over here, a secure education is generational. This is us right here. I don't know why my slides don't go back. Maybe let me try this. Nope, they won't go back. Well, that sucks. Anyway, you guys understand? I hope so, because this is our future. And this is Khadijah's gift. So enjoy, 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 enjoy Khadijah's gift from her mom to her. I miss her. She should be here. And this gift shows how much I loved her, how much I care for all my kids, all four of them, Tahid, Jamila, Jalil, and all my grandbabies, and Khadijah. I care about all my kids. This right here is a gift to you from Khadijah. But what it means the most, because it's from me to her. And finally, I had said earlier that we would create a historical archive book. This book would be a record of family members' names that donated organs and to who received them. We are a fragile, lineal group that must be respected and protected. We deserve to know what happened to our family members. We do. We deserve it. We deserve to know every single minute, from the minute they got here to the second they left, and how they left, and if they were cared for when they left. We deserve that. And from now on, we'll be able to put our family members that donate an organ in our historical archive book for slave descendants. And I don't know why I left that word out again. I think because I took away the word black, and I will go back. Anyway, this is not written in stone, but you guys know what I'm saying. So record the family member's date of death. You'll be able to, so your grandkids, your great 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 grandkids can go back and look in that book and be able to see, or go to a library and find this book and be able to see who their family member was and how they gave the gift to save another slave descendant's life. Record what happened to the family member and how they died. That's your choice. If you want to write what happened to the family member, then you can. Record details of the outcome and why it had to come to an end. Tell the story. You know the story. You have the narrative. You tell the story. The slave descendants should no longer be entertainment. We shouldn't. We should not be entertainment. Other people should not be telling our stories. If we want our stories told, we'll put it in the book. We'll archive it. I'm not going to read the rest of this. I mean, I can. Record details and outcome and while I had to end. Record organizations that helped and assisted you and your family with your family member's death. So anybody that helped you, um, if um, if there was a church that stepped in and helped you, or if some of the slave descendants helped you just make it through whatever you were going through, just you want to put that in the book, just to give recognition to people that helped you. Record the organs that your family member donated. Whatever your family member donated, you can put it in the archive book. Record who received the organs that your family member donated. Communicating with the person that received your family member's organs. If you want to, if you choose to know who it was, or if you choose to communicate with them. I mean, for me, if I knew who had my daughter's heart, I would love to be able to document that. I would probably be taking care of them, their best friend, So here you have an opportunity if you want to record who your family member was able to save another life of a slave descendant. Allow the persons that receive the organs to commit and to comment and say thank you to the family member for their gifts. So if that person wants to say thank you and comment in your space on the book, then they can do that. They can write something in there about how they feel about you and your family. Record memories and how much your family member meant to you and the other family members. Include last words spoken. Like some people say, I remember my brother, he used to always call me such and such, and the day he walked out the door, I didn't know I was not going to see him again. And he gave me a hug or whatever it was. Okay? You're able to put that here for other family members and other generations to be able to read later. And here's my Khadijah. This is the one that the gift belongs to. Khadijah Hamidullah. All right, y'all. This is that chick. I'm going to give y'all a minute. So anyway, what I did was I went back and I found her family. And man, I'm going to have to put this page. Let me go back. Oops. Ugh. It doesn't go back. Anyway, it didn't go back. But anyway, that's her family. I have to get back, figure out how to go back. Let me see how I can pause it. All right, so I was trying to go back to my baby's page, and I see we're still picking up where we left off. So give me a minute and let me try to go back.